Boom. Now we got the audio synced up. Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Dave. I am a recovery navigator, case manager / aftercare counselor here at Tal Behavioral Health. And you are listening to Tal Tales. Our success stories podcast here at Tal Behavioral Health. I'm sitting here today with Mr. Dave Anaya. Dave is our guest today. He's a recent alumnus of Tal's program here, and we're kind of going to get into his story. But before we do that, I got to do a quick disclaimer. So let's just get that out of the way. The following episode. Oh wait, we're gonna give it a little break. Bump music. Okay. The following episode contains discussions related to substance use, addiction, recovery, mental health challenges, trauma, and other difficult life experiences. Some topics discussed may be emotionally challenging or triggering for certain listeners. Listener discretion is advised. The stories shared in this podcast are personal experiences from individuals who face their own unique challenges and recovery journeys. Each person's path is different, and one person's experience should not be considered a representation of what recovery will look like for everyone. This podcast is intended for educational and informational purposes only. The conversations shared here are not a substitute for professional medical, mental health, substance use treatment, or crisis services. If you or someone you know is struggling with substance use, mental health concerns, or related challenge, we encourage you to seek support from qualified professionals and available community resources. The purpose of this podcast is to reduce stigma, create understanding, and highlight the reality that change and recovery are possible. By sharing honest stories of struggle, growth, and resilience, we hope to provide encouragement to individuals currently facing challenges and to the families and communities who support them. The guests appearing on this podcast are sharing their own thoughts, memories, and experiences voluntarily. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily represent the views or experiences of all individuals in recovery or of Tal Behavioral Health. Okay, legal mumbo jumbo out of the way. Okay. All right. We got Dave here. Dave,
Lou.
Let's go. Yes. All right. So we're starting out. Dave, you're our second podcast guest here. How's it going, man? How you doing?
Doing really well.
Yeah.
Doing really well. A lot of fantastic things happening in my life right now. Since the few weeks since I left treatment.
Okay.
A lot of things looking good.
That's good. Yeah. Well, yeah, tell me about like what's going on with you right now? Like what when you said you a lot of things going on, what do you mean?
Right before I left treatment, I had several interviews with a dream job of mine.
Yeah.
I've since found out that I've gotten the job.
Yes.
Waiting for the background check to clear. I should get my start date any day now.
Awesome, man. That's great news.
Thank you.
We'll get into that a little bit later. Cool, man. That's so good. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm really, really excited to hear that. Okay. So I know about, obviously, we worked pretty closely together.
Yes, we did.
Tail end of your treatment here, as we work towards the housing and employment end and aftercare end. But let's take it back a little bit before you got to treatment. What was life like? Like, take me back to the beginning.
The very beginning?
The beginning of your recovery journey,
goodness.
wherever you want to. What do you have like something you? I mean, like when I talk about my experience, I like to go back to I was raised in a household in childhood that was affected by alcoholism. So that's part of my story. But
Okay.
let's hear yours. What do you?
My story might be different than a lot of other people's because I
Okay.
grew up in a perfect household.
Yeah.
Mother and father were deeply in love. I never seen either of them take a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I take that back. I might have seen my dad take one drink
Okay.
while we were out camping once.
Yeah.
When I say my dad, I mean my adoptive dad.
Mhm.
My biological father, whom I inherited my wonderful disease from, was, from what I understand, a horrific drunk,
Okay.
to the point where he would physically abuse my mother
Oh no.
several times, until my uncles took care of that,
Oh
quite
no.
literally.
Did you know him?
I did not. I did
Okay.
not. Thankfully, he left shortly after I was born, so I didn't have to. I
Yeah.
didn't have any of those type of memories or trauma.
But you grew up with the stories. Maybe
Yeah,
that people
my
told you.
uncles would tell me things from time to time when my mom wasn't around at,
When
at
did you
family gatherings.
first find out about that?
That's probably 9 or 10 when I started hearing things
How
from
did that make you
at
feel?
family. I honestly didn't care. I had a dad who loved me
Okay.
and provided a fantastic life for me.
That's good.
It wasn't until later in life that I started thinking about things like that,
Yeah.
that where it started affecting me.
Okay.
My sister, on the other hand, was old enough to know him and
Oh, okay. Wow.
to have some kind of a relationship with him.
Yeah.
She carried that with her whole life.
Sure. Okay.
That was and was a great big part of her own struggles with addiction.
Yeah.
She always kind of pushed my adoptive dad off and
Mhm.
wanted that relationship with our biological father.
Yeah.
And that led to her rebelling at a very young age and starting in on drugs and alcohol very young.
Yeah.
And, she kind of gave me the picture perfect danger, do not replicate kind of thing.
Yeah.
She gave me the perfect example of what not to do. And I didn't do that until I didn't even have a drink until I turned 18.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Really? No.
Nothing.
No shit.
And then 18, kind of got away from home for the first time.
Yeah.
Got out from under mom and dad's wings and started exploring. And that bug bit me hard and quick.
Okay.
When
Tell me
I
about
got down
it.
to college.
What do you mean? Like when it would say it hit you quick? Like what? So the
I just-
consequences started to happen.
I started smoking when I got down to
Uh-huh.
Ohio State. Drinking was an everyday habit.
Oh, drinking every day off the rip.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I had I was quite larger at the time, so I had the ability to
When you say quite
drinking-
larger, you mean like
physically, yeah,
larger?
yeah.
Okay.
I had the ability to consume large quantities of anything.
Yeah. Okay. I
And
got it.
a lot of my roommates thought it was hilarious and would challenge me or create these games where, let's see if Dave can drink a case of beer before I can drink a six pack.
You were like the college part, like freak
I was
show.
a Chris
like,
Farley, yeah.
right on. That sucks, man. That's not that. But you probably embraced that role a little bit, maybe.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Center of attention, right? That's what we actually
Attention and laughs. That's all I was
Yeah,
after.
for sure.
But yeah, once I started smoking, that became an everyday habit
Uh huh.
to the point where
It's okay.
I would come up here to Cleveland
hmm
every Friday night and buy a pound of weed and take it back down and
Yeah.
sell half and keep half
Yeah. Cool.
to
Good
keep my
move.
apartment
Yeah, I did that too.
stocked in crap.
Take a little bit off the top, man. Why not?
Exactly, exactly. And then once I was smoking, everything was an option.
Yeah.
Psychedelics.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, I fell in love with cocaine the first time I tried it,
Mm-hmm.
and that became a weekend
Same.
warrior for quite a while. Until I moved back home when my dad got sick, and then it became a crutch.
Yeah.
I was depressed. My hero was sick in front of me and dying, and instead of every weekend, it became every day.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when I really started struggling with it. Went to IOP one time prior to coming to Tal. Didn't really do anything
so
for
you're
me. I didn't
doing
take it seriously.
Sorry to interrupt. You're doing narcotics every day at what age now? Your dad started to get sick when?
26.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
by
by-
26, it was every day.
By the time you're out of college, narcotics every day. Your
Yeah.
dad's getting ill. You move back. Okay, keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No, you're
interrupt
fine. when he passed, the first thing I did, I'm extremely not proud of this moment, but
No, yeah, tell me.
you know, after the family came over and gave their condolences, I actually slipped my mom a couple of Valium and knocked her out. And
On purpose?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
wow,
gave her some
dude.
Valium to calm her down and put her to bed so I could go out and
Oh,
find
you
some
drugged
drugs
your
to
own
do.
mom? Man, bro.
I
Does she
didn't
know?
like
Does she know about?
slip her. No, she's gonna find out when she hears this. I
Oh,
didn't like,
God.
you know, under the table. I gave her the pills and said this.
Oh, okay, okay,
you know,
okay,
this will
okay,
calm
okay,
you
okay,
down.
yeah, you didn't like dose or drink.
No,
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't that big.
So
of a,
she doesn't know you're talking about this, but you're
No.
okay. Well, all
No,
right.
she. I don't think she realized what I did.
How long ago was that?
It was in 2010.
Okay. I
But
mean,
yeah, I
that's
just stayed
drug
out that
addiction,
whole
dude.
night.
That's drug addiction, dude.
Yeah. Didn't want to face reality and
Yeah.
just wanted to go make myself feel better the only way I knew how.
Okay.
After that point, I calmed down quite a bit. You know, I was still doing my thing on the weekends, but got control of it for a while.
What was the impetus for like slowing down? Why'd you want to slow down?
It's just financially, one, I couldn't keep up with my own habit.
Yeah. Okay.
And I had a career at that point. I was doing really well.
Okay.
As a customs broker, and I didn't want to waste as much money as I was wasting on drugs.
Yeah. Sure.
But you know, eventually I got involved with somebody and ended up having a child. It was a very toxic, abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Physically abusive, emotionally, mentally.
This is the ex-wife.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we weren't technically married, but
Oh, right. But you told
we
me
were
about
together.
Her. Yeah. Tell
ha-
the lovely folks who.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know all about this, but
had a child together, and shortly after that, it really came to a head where there just wasn't any hope for salvaging that relationship.
Sure, of course.
And
time to focus on yourself, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. When we broke up, I got sober. Well, I won't say sober. I abstained from drugs and alcohol for 7.5 years.
Yeah, you were dry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't embrace any program. I looked at AA as just another church. And I should say that, you know, when my dad passed, I lost all connection to any kind of faith that I had prior to that. But yeah, so I got sober, clean for 7.5 years after splitting from my son's mother, and that was a decent time for me. Everything was okay for the most part, but I was just maintaining. I wasn't really making any kind of progress whatsoever.
Yeah, you were just floating, coasting by. Well, you weren't working a program.
No, not at all.
Right.
And there towards the end, that voice in the back of your head that never goes away, that says that I can do things responsibly now. I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I'm not a drug addict anymore. I can do things well. I can handle it. I got this. Do it well without going overboard.
Maybe I could just have one little half a gram of cocaine.
Well, no, thankfully it didn't start back off with the hard stuff. It was just one drink.
Okay, yeah.
You know, one drink.
That's all it takes
to help calm my nerves before bed. Just one. And then, you know, within a month it's 2 or 3 and 4 or 5. And then it's, you know, the first time things go wrong.
Blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All day long. All day long.
Right back to where you were.
Yeah. I lost my job, lost my medical coverage, lost my access to my mental health medication. And then it was all hands on deck. We were going down with this thing.
We start to like draw that line closer and closer and closer. And then all of a sudden there's nothing left, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah, I was blackout drunk every day for a while. And then I found I found my old love again, which were opiates.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I failed to mention in 2013 I had an accident
Okay.
that herniated 6 discs in my back,
Yeah.
and on top of twice a month epidurals, I was getting high-powered opiates.
Yeah.
And
What were you getting, like what's it called? Dilaudid or whatever?
it was 30 milligram oxys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll
6
do it.
times a day.
6 times a day.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
bro. Ooh.
And with my physical shape at that point, you know, I was able to consume large quantities. So my 30-day prescription would end up lasting me 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just all day long, every day, chewing them like candy.
Sure.
It wasn't even swallowing them until at the time lapse kick in. I would literally chew them up and suck on them
that's
for 20 or
brutal,
30
dude.
minutes so that I got the full effect right away.
What did that do to your insides? Like, was your liver like messed up from that?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Thankfully, all my testing these days, everything seems okay.
That's good. That's good.
But when fast forward to right before, you know, getting into Tal, when I found they had just come out with the synthetic kratom, the 7-OH, I think it's called.
They banned that stuff.
They did, thankfully, because it was putting people in treatment centers.
Yeah,
because it's
fucking
more powerful than oxys.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
And they were making stronger and stronger and stronger versions of it.
yeah.
You know, when I first started taking them, the strongest pill you could get was 20 milligrams,
Mm-hmm.
and they would sell them in 4-packs. And then within 2 months, they were selling 100 milligram pills in 10-packs.
Oh shit.
And I was eating $150, $200 of them a day.
Oh my
And
god.
they weren't very expensive. So I was just eating, you know, wake up to 2 packs of them.
Yeah.
By lunchtime, another 2 packs,
God.
2 packs in the evening after dinner.
And you're still holding down a job?
No, at that point I was on my way down. I had already lost
How
my
are you
job.
affording it?
Well, that was the problem. That was when things really took a turn.
Yeah.
I went through the little bit of savings that I had.
Uh-huh.
I had convinced my mom to loan me money.
Yeah,
and
that's a dark
find
place, dude.
everything that I had worth any kind of value was
Yeah,
sold.
selling everything,
Yep.
borrowing. Next step is stealing, you
Yep.
know, fucking committing crimes. That's
Yep.
what
And that's ultimately where you know, the last couple of days were me trying to fight it off and drink my way through the detox of those things,
Yeah.
which is just as
bit of this
terrible
for
as detoxing from oxys.
yeah.
I wouldn't dare say it's as bad as detoxing from heroin, but you get the idea if you've ever detoxed
It's
from
an
any kind of opiate.
It's no good. Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes you sick. Like
So I was
sick to your
just-
stomach, sweating, all that
Oh,
shit.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hallucinations.
So drinking literally around the clock, trying to get myself through the detox of opiates again,
Yeah.
was just a nightmare. To the point where I was ready to call it quits and had my gun in my hand and
Oh no,
Yeah.
no way, bro. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about it.
was ready to cash it in. And then something, I just didn't want to do that to my mom and son,
Okay.
and ended up calling crisis helpline again. I say again because I glanced over the first time I did it.
Yeah.
Um,
How did you get the number for the crisis helpline? Like where were you already exploring like an out,
no,
or-
I just Googled it. I
Okay.
Googled it because I had it called on me once before.
So take me through that moment, like that critical moment right there. You got a gun in your hand, right? And you're you're contemplating this move, this final, could close the door on it. What happened? So like what caused you? You said you thought about your mom and your son. Do you think that, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to like it's just their faces flash in your mind, or like
I
what?
just thought about, my son growing up without his father, the way, I had to grow up without mine, not necessarily grow up, but
Mhm.
mature without mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to do that to him, and I didn't want to do that to my mom. I'm my mom's caretaker.
Your son's how old at this point?
8.
Okay,
Yeah,
and you're
the
your
8
mom's
this year.
caretaker. So you're projecting. You're playing the tape forward, right?
Yeah.
What this would look like if I'm not here.
Yeah.
What would my son's life look like? What would my mom's life look like? Okay.
Yeah.
So you knew you had to change. You just didn't necessarily know how. So you called 211.
Yeah.
Okay.
Detoxed at Metro for 2 months.
211, by the way, everybody, is a critical resource for those who are suffering from a mental health crisis. If you or a loved one is going through it and does not know who to reach out to or where to reach out to, 211.
Yeah. If you feel like you don't have anybody else, they will listen.
For real.
They'll
they'll point you in the right direction.
They call help if you feel like you need it. They really went through it with me. So I take that back. I detoxed at Metro for almost a full month.
Okay.
Before my blood work had come down to a reasonable level, before my liver and kidney function, kind of returned to normal, because that 7-OH tore me apart.
How long
inside.
ago was this? Well,
This
was
was
detox. I mean,
take that back. It was July of last year.
July of last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I spent August and September at Matt Talbot, where I started becoming open to the idea of actually embracing a real program. They would take us to AA meetings. We were in 6 hours of classes Monday through Friday. But they did a lot of...
Matt Talbot is a lockdown treatment center in Parma.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Their tactic was more or less...
Catholic associated.
They are.
Very.
And it was...
I mean, not very. That's not a judgment call. It's just, it is what it is.
Their tactics were a little bit more abrasive than they are here.
Right. Okay. What do you mean by that?
Trying to beat it into you, not necessarily physically, obviously, but just...
Well, I mean, you're locked in there.
Yeah.
There's no escape.
Literally, you cannot leave unless...
But sometimes that approach is necessary for people who are like, if they're a flight risk, especially
very
a
true.
A lot of people are,
And we did have to try and run away while I was there.
You had to try and escape?
Well, they started offering smoking on our ward.
Okay.
And we had 2 different people try and run while they were out smoking.
Yeah, I mean,
but Matt Talbot is very secluded in that in the area where it is. So unless you know that area very, very well, you're not going to make it very far.
But so you maybe didn't agree with some of their draconian methods.
Correct. Okay. Correct. I was more pushing back against it rather than trying to.
But you were there voluntarily, right?
I was.
It wasn't like some of those guys.
You can leave if you want to. You just have to do it the right way. But
okay.
I knew I wasn't gonna get out of there and do anything the right way.
Okay.
Given to my own devices, I've just destroyed my life time after time after time.
Yeah. You knew you had to make a change. And
I knew I had to make a change. I just didn't know how I was going to go about it. They introduced me to AA. I went to my first AA class ever while I was there.
Yeah.
And it just so happens the very first meeting that they took me to was the meeting where I would meet my eventual sponsor.
Yeah.
The only thing that clicked for me at Matt Talbot was meeting him, because every time I went to that meeting, it felt like he and I were having a private conversation in the middle of that meeting, because he had been through everything I had been through.
Yeah.
He had the same experiences, the same issues. He had destroyed his life the same exact way that I had.
You were able to identify with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Despite all that chaos and like the misery that's going on in your head, this, I don't know if I want to do this. I mean, it's because, it sounds to me like maybe, you're locked in there, you know what I mean? There's no escape from it, like that stuff. But like, that's just kind of early recovery too. You know what I mean? Like residential treatment, like the first couple months, it's brutal, dude. So like to have that guiding light of somebody that you can identify with is so, so crucially important, man. I'm so glad that you found him.
I was very lucky, because plenty of guys made it through that program without identifying, a person that could help them through that.
And, it's a dice roll, dude. Who knows what happens?
Yeah, and as a guy, it's not necessarily easy to
sure.
find another guy and say, I'm going to share everything about me with you.
Yeah, that's common.
But
because we're not used to sharing our emotions like that. We're not used to like being vulnerable. Like, this is what's going on with me. Nobody's supposed to know. I'm just supposed to go to work and shut the fuck up and provide for my family and not have feelings. You know, like that's manhood in America, you know, or at least in, you know, I mean, like the manhood that was an example to me, you know, it's like, all right. This is not my story. We're talking about your story.
No, but you know, exactly as you were saying, you know, I never seen my dad cry one time except for at my sister's funeral. You know, he was a macho man.
Yeah.
You know, he's a woodsman, a fisherman, a hunter. You know, he was the man's man. And then there's me. You know, just a sobbing mess at every opportunity I get.
Yeah. Never measure up, right? That's a fifth stepper right there.
But yeah, so that was, you know, my takeaway from my time at Matt Talbot was becoming open to AA for the first time. You know, it wasn't just a bunch of it wasn't just another excuse for church. It wasn't you know, a cult with a whole book of sayings and cliche sayings that everybody hates until they're experiencing them for themselves.
Sure.
And then after I made it through Matt Talbot, they asked me if I wanted to go into further treatment or if I wanted to go home, and I certainly didn't feel ready to go home and, you know, get plopped in the middle of a job and you know, just 90 days removed from where I was. I didn't feel ready, so I wanted to go into I wanted to explore further treatment, but I wanted to go to this specific place on the west side that would put me closer to home.
Okay.
So that it'd be easier to you know, go check in on my mom every couple of days. And, had my heart set on it.
Mm-hmm.
And a week before I was supposed to leave, I was informed that they were full, that if I wanted to go to treatment, I'd have to go on the east side of this place called Tao. And I had
dun, dun, dun.
prior to that, we had a couple of people come in and speak, and they were talking to us about both the treatment center I wanted to go to and Tao.
Yeah.
And it sounded like the one on the west side was so much better, and I had my heart set on going there.
I remember you from that period because I was a peer supporter.
I think you were the one that came in and talked to us, and you might have given us your lead while you were there.
I did give a lead there. Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
So begrudgingly, I said, fine, if that's the only place available, you know, I'll go there. The only good thing I had heard about it was the affiliation with Treeside, and, you know, they've got an apartment building all to themselves, and it's just going to be, you know, you everybody that's in recovery.
Yeah.
So you've got an apartment full of people that can help support you. Mm-hmm. So I came and was immediately disappointed with everything that I seen.
What?
You've got this idea, they've got an apartment in Cleveland Heights. So
this fancy brownstone building. Yeah.
A fantastic place.
It's well, you know, it's treatment associated housing.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, the inside is completely renovated, and I don't want to make it sound like it's a terrible place to go.
No, yeah.
It's just it is there to serve a purpose of housing you.
Expectations versus reality are often incongruous.
It's there to serve the purpose of a place to sleep while you're doing the work here.
It's furnished, you know. There's like, you know, it's a place to live.
Yeah. So
it's a nice place to live.
It is. Yeah. After you let your guard down and start getting accustomed to social living, it's just as good as anywhere else.
It's a stepping stone, man. I tell guys all the time, like, listen, like, communal living is like, it's important for a couple of reasons, right? There's the one reason where it's like, you want to, you know, like, you have to kind of learn how to get along with other people in order to be rehabilitated from drugs and alcohol, because so much of drugs and alcohol abuse is that isolation of like getting in your own head and like living in this controlled narrative. I'm in charge. I'm in the driver's seat. And that all points drugs in my direction and alcohol in my direction. But once you live according to like the rules of like other people, and it's like learning how to get along with other people really in a living environment, you know, it's a lot easier to become rehabilitated, because if you're able to get along with other people and be adaptable and like, just like, that's kind of like what the 12 steps really are all about, is like kind of like getting you to the point of like not being an asshole, really. You know what I mean? And like being okay with like, okay, this is where I want to get in order to get from point A to point B, right? And without being a grumpy grump about it in between. So like, yeah, there's going to be like a little bit of like, like I got to live in a cramped apartment. There's, I have 3 roommates, a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, I don't really want to have a roommate, like yada, yada, yada. Um, but like the idea being that like, in the meantime, like you're moving towards something. You have a goal that you want to achieve in the end, which is, independent living or getting into a sober living, like you ended up at. But anyway, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Taking over the conversation here. Anyway, keep going.
So, I had kind of made this agreement with myself that I was going to give this a try.
Mhm.
This is an open door facility. You can leave whenever you want.
Yeah.
I was going to come in and put my head down and do what everyone told me to do, no matter how much I disagreed with it,
Uh-huh.
because nobody knows better for me than me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I was going to do what I was
I won't
told.
put up with this.
and put my head down and give it a solid effort.
Cool.
Um,
I remember that moment when that I feel like a light kind of clicked on it, because you were really eager when you were in Matt Talbot. Then you got there and you were kind of like, oh, this isn't how I imagined it to be. And then like about a week later, I think I remember like you had a conversation with your sponsor, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think that was like kind of how it went.
my first week here is when I asked my sponsor to be my sponsor,
Right.
and literally off the bat, he laid down expectations. And part of that was, taking part in this program and giving it my all.
Yeah.
To make sure that it was a 2-sided effort.
Totally.
It was, we were going to tackle it from the AA side and from the treatment center side. And
because those two things aren't incongruous with each other. They're not, they can work together for sure. Yeah.
And, just something, I don't know what it was, honestly, a culmination of a couple of things, but something did, like you said, something did just click. And when I came in these doors every morning, I was determined to figure out a way to apply everything that they were telling me to myself. How can I make this work for me? Whether it be, tools for your toolbox as to how to deal with urges, or how to deal with the voice in your head that tells you this is a waste of time, and drugs and alcohol are a better route than going through these 6 months here.
Yeah. What's one intervention that like sticks out to you? Like one thing that like a counselor here or somebody said to you that like really kind of like clicked for you?
Honestly, I would probably have to say my conversations with you. Okay. Early on, you were, I'm not joking. I
all right. What did I say that
between my sponsor and you are the reasons I made it through this program.
Give me a specific, something we can give the listeners. This is not for my own personal glorification. Just tell me what's one intervention that TAL Behavioral Health, whatever employee it may be, gave to you that you can kind of take away from this experience here at TAL.
I don't, well, you'll probably recall when I was roomed with a notorious person here at TAL.
I think I remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I recall.
He had his way of doing things, and he was very boisterous, would be a polite way of saying it.
He was set in his ways. He was stubborn.
And I was warned that he was going to room with me, and I begged the apartment manager, do not. He is my antithesis.
Anybody but this guy.
Yeah, exactly. And everything that I said was going to happen, that I had warned the apartment manager was going to happen, started happening. And it was day and night. 24/7.
Because I know how this is going to go. I already know how this is going to be the worst case scenario. And then boom.
It was.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I was ready to walk. I was on the phone with my sponsor. I was a block away from the pills that I wanted to take. I was a block away from picking up some alcohol on the way back.
Gas station right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything that I wanted to escape from this jackass who's now making my life a living hell.
I remember you telling me about this.
It was a block walk away, and I between the conversations with Adrian and the conversations with you, and the conversations with Mark, who's the peer support manager here at TAL.
Mm-hmm.
He told me, and I love this saying, your sobriety garden always finds a way to weed itself.
Yeah.
And as long as you give it
That's
up
a good one.
and let go and let God, one of those sayings I hated before I came into AA.
Because it sounds so cliche, it's so reductive. It's just like, well, if it were that simple, I would have done it a long time ago, asshole. Like, no, that's like it starts.
The moment you just let go of your problems and ask for help from wherever, whatever higher power you have, it has a tendency to happen.
Yeah. Because I put the fortress around myself, man, big time. Like, I was like, there's no way, like, I'm like the spiritual program. Like, I'm a spiritual dude, and it's never been able to fix my alcoholism. It's not going to work. Nope. And there's no way. Like, I don't need all that mumbo jumbo. And then, I had my spiritual experience when I was in the Absolute House, man. I mean, it happens. Everybody that stays sober, it happens to at some point. That's
absolutely
that's the only way.
And it didn't just happen one time with me. It happened time and time and time again, especially over the last 3 months.
Vital spiritual experience.
These last 3 months, the old me had a tendency to be a very negative person, always waiting for the next shoe to drop. I know how unlucky I am. This isn't going to work for me. Something's going to happen. And
you're on that. You're on that step right now.
Yeah. It's been clean sailing for several months, where as long as it's something that I've, put the spiritual work in, my path is clear. I've got, nothing in my way to
this way or that way. Are you going towards the gas station 70H, or are you going to come back and sit down and have a little conversation?
Exactly. And that's what happened. Mine took a little video recording, but that obstacle was swept away, and off to the next one. But yeah, it was rocky early on.
Okay.
More so with the living arrangements than what was going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm sure was half my own fault for not coming part ways with, halfway with some of the roommates that I had.
That's it, dude. It's all because it's just letting go. That's really all it is. It's like, this guy won't wash his dishes. It's like, okay, well, then the professionals will handle that. Like, if you got to take it up to the chain of command, if nobody's, if he's not doing what he's supposed to do, we'll handle it. Like, it's not like your job is to let that go.
Yeah.
As a client, you know what I mean? Like, or if the guy won't let me sleep in the middle of the night. It's like, okay, all right, well, we'll move him around, or, we'll do what we got to do. But like, like the job of like, but in early recovery, so much of that is just letting go. Man.
Yeah.
So much, 99% of it. And the stuff that actually is a problem, it's like, okay, we can zero in on that. We can fix that. There's a way to fix that kind of stuff.
Bring it to their attention,
parse it out,
and then it's none of your business. Let them handle it. Let your higher power handle it.
There's a prayer for it that we say at the beginning of every meeting, right? It's just like, there's stuff I can fix, and there's stuff that I can't, and I can either have courage to fix the stuff that I can, or I gotta let it go.
Yeah.
And letting it go, it works for a lot of the stuff. It really, it sucks when people let go too much, because that was my problem, right? I was like, I don't need to worry about the rent. I'll figure the rent out tomorrow. I don't need to worry about my family relationships. I'll figure that out later. They'll still love me. Then, like whatever. And just, it's ruinous, because of like drugs and alcohol take all that stuff from you, like I can't emphasize enough that like it's not just about like it. Like you, like, would you ever imagine that you'd be sitting here doing this
Never.
thing? Me neither.
Never.
Yeah, right. Like, no way. There's no possible way. I mean, I know that I like have, like it's hard to put into words. Like I have the experience to share, you know what I mean? But like as a person in active addiction, I would be too worried. I would just be too anxious and like too, like self-defeating, self-deprecating. I could never like think, or like I would oscillate between like that or I'm the greatest person on earth. And both of those are toxic, right? Like that's not, I mean, I still, ego is a big thing.
Ego
for
is
me.
on my
Yeah,
list.
yeah, for sure.
For sure.
But anyway, okay. So you're here, you're at Tal, you made the change. You want to sustain your change. You graduated from our program. Where are you now? What are you doing?
So I have, well, before all that,
Okay.
yeah, let's talk about Miss Shannon, because once I got, so I had some medical difficulties while I was here.
Mm-hmm.
Some issues with my lungs. The doctors were throwing around the C word, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to do. I hadn't. That was early on in my stay here. I hadn't necessarily learned all of the
That was in
spiritual.
It was the day my grandfather died.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's sorry to bring that up.
No, it's okay, man.
I hadn't necessarily had the spiritual armor put on me, and I was, still wavering. If I'm dying anyway, I might as well die, high.
You helped me with my spiritual armor that day, dude. Like coming to clock into work and helping you get to that point in your recovery helped me with because I have to stay sober. You know what I mean? My mom was on her deathbed. Whew, that was a rough time for me, man.
Yeah, and you were taking me to my surgeries while your mom's ready to pass away.
And my grandpa did actually die that day. They died. They died less than 2 months apart from each other. Anyway, so sorry.
My
story keeps jumping in.
No,
our tales are interwoven there
because you played such a huge part in my story.
I knew it was a big deal to you because you're like this diagnosis might be coming through, and like I'm really worried. You were super anxious about it.
Yeah, because it runs in my family, and I was also a smoker for 20 years, so it made sense. I was ready for that ball to drop, for that shoe to drop.
So take me back to that day. So you're going to the doctor.
Yeah. Just waiting for that diagnosis to come through. I had an exploratory surgery followed by, I can't even remember what they call it, lobectomy, where they're taking out slices of the bad looking tissue. And, I was still not completely convinced that this was what I wanted to do, because if I'm dying anyway, I might as well die happy and
high. You said die high. Yeah.
And go enjoy the last couple of months and not worry about it, rather than sitting around sober and worrying about everything. But thankfully that diagnosis came through, and while they still don't know what the heck is wrong with me, it's not cancer. So, what can I do about it? What can they don't know what to do about it. What can I do about it?
There's a step for that, bro.
Yep. So, once I got the green light, I volunteered to take part in Miss Shannon's class. And Miss Shannon, works here at Tal, as whenever she's requested. She works with, Ohio Guidestone.
Come in. You can come in. Yeah. Shai is going to join us real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our director, Mr. Shai Fishman.
This is beautiful to see.
Hey, yes. Hello, sir.
How are you?
Dave, awesome to see
you. Want to wheel the microphone over? You want to get on the mic for a second?
Oh. No, I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, you're fine.
Testing. Hey, it's great to see the Dave and the David. The David and the Dave. Hey.
Pretty cool, huh?
Bum, 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 bum.
So when are you going to sit in this seat?
I will. As soon as I get called.
You got to get him on the list.
Okay. Shall we have the keys?
We're looking for keys?
Yeah.
I don't think they're. Oh, Shelly took it. The key to the desk or the.
Sorry.
Okay. It's fine. All right. Okay. What time is it? Well, we got a little bit more time. Okay, let's do like maybe 10 more minutes or so. All right. So what was I going to say? So Shannon, you were talking about Shannon.
So Miss Shannon works for Ohio Guidestone, and she'll come in and work with the guys who
Bring
are
that mic a little closer to your face.
work with the guys who are looking for work, basically.
Yeah.
And I had nothing better to do. I was cleared by the doctors to go back to light duty.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked with Miss Shannon and found a job that I could do that wasn't terribly physical, that wasn't going to get my respiratory up, too terrible. And
Sure.
within I'd say a week, she found something that fit me perfectly.
Awesome.
Within 3 days, I was hired and ready to
Right.
start work.
Mainstream, you were ready to go.
And that was a big part in getting me back to society.
That was only a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like at this point.
About 4 months ago now.
Okay.
At this point.
Yeah.
Getting me back into society and becoming, functional again.
It's so gradual too when you think about it. Like it's not like we can see these mile markers along the way, right? Like, well, at first I had to do this, but like if you never would have accept like just that word accept, if you never would have even just like, if you would have like gone left when you were supposed to go right, and like you've seen so many guys do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how it works. Like it's not, some people aren't ready. You're ready, and you got plugged into these resources. You got helped to find a job. So walking through that process, so now you're at the point where you're working most days, you're continuing to go to treatment. Maybe you're like in aftercare by this point.
I was in aftercare by that point, which is a relaxed schedule to allow you to
shameless aftercare plug.
it allows you
Stick around, guys.
It allows you enough time to work a full-time job while still in treatment.
Yeah.
While still meeting
Taper
your goals.
Slow.
And achieve, you still have requirements.
You were saving money.
Yeah.
You were saving money at that point, right?
Yeah. And within weeks of landing that job, she found that a company that hadn't hired for the last 3 years was now hiring.
Mm-hmm.
It was an even better fit for me.
Okay.
Pay was ridiculous.
Groovy.
And, she got me signed up the same day to be the first person in the door being interviewed.
Nice, bro. Amazing.
Just another obstacle just wiped clear of my path. It just, like I said before, I just keep waiting for that other shoe to drop. Well, how am I going to get to this job? It just so happens my sponsor has a car that I can buy and work. It just, everything. Once I accepted the spiritual part of this journey, every obstacle has just been completely removed one way or another from my path. And I just cannot, I just still can't, I'm in disbelief because this isn't the way my old life went.
Right.
Every obstacle that had an opportunity to trip me up in my past life. And now I'm just, I hate to say it. It's clear. It's been clear sailing ever since I, really started working a program.
It's fun. You know what's funny to me is that like once I started believing it would work, it did start working. Yeah. Once I started praying every day, those prayers got answered. Once I started doing the things to align myself with the higher power's purpose for my life is when the higher power started to influence my life. It started to, like it's guiding my act. Like I'm just a vessel today. You know what I mean? Like this is not, like I can't take credit for any of this. This is all, I mean, I'm doing it. Sure. I'm like clocking in and I'm like putting person A in touch with person B, but like, this is all just like there's a bigger picture at stake. You know what I mean? It's not like it's just keeping me sober. It's about helping to keep somebody else sober. Yeah. And that in turn keeps me sober. That's the 12th step, But like,
that's what I mean, I just got done speaking to the guys that are here in the program.
You're doing it.
And I just got,
how'd that feel?
Once I got over my stage fright, it was okay.
Yeah, I knew you'd be fine. Good. I told you you'd be fine.
things to learn for next time, and hopefully they'll let me back in a couple weeks
Yeah.
and talk
Cool.
to some of the guys in the different programs.
Uh,
But I kept repeating myself, you only get out of this either program what you put into it.
mm-hmm.
Whether it's AA or the program here at Tau,
Yeah.
you have to put in the effort in order to
Yeah.
see the results at the end.
Yeah, if you're not, why would what's the motivation for us to want to go? Like, I'm not going to go into a bar and be like, "Hey, clean up your act, drunkie." You know, like, come over here to this treatment center. Like, maybe those guys don't want to. Maybe some of those don't have a drinking problem. Maybe some of them aren't ready to admit it for themselves. Like, we'd be wasting our time and our energy trying to go convert people who aren't ready to be. You know what I mean? It's like you've got to want to get better, and then we can start working.
Yeah,
That's the only way it works.
but yeah, completed the program here
Mhm.
about a month ago now, I think.
Yeah, a month ago. Wow.
Um,
Has it been that long?
moved into a sober living house that's literally right down the street from my
Yes.
mom's, so that I'm
Yes.
able to check in on her every day. A decent group of guys. They're all in a, one of the prerequisites for that house is that you're working a program in AA.
Does it have to be AA or NA or
Well,
what?
any of the 12-step programs
Okay.
or smart recovery or any
So-
kind of recovery program.
So you have to have like what, a sponsor. You have to like.
Yep.
Do, okay.
Yep. Then
Oh, you're good. It's all good. We'll edit that out in post. We won't edit that out. Actually. This is all going to be presented as is.
Creaky doors and all.
It's all right. No worries.
Later, Shia.
Yeah, so moved into the sober living home.
And that's right up the street from your mom.
Literally like a 5-minute walk.
And you got your wheels.
I got a car.
You drove here today.
I did.
That's magical, man.
After not having driven anything for almost a year.
Yeah. Right.
It feels good. But yeah, I on the verge of starting a new job that's
bro.
On
Yeah,
par
tell me
with the
about
most
that,
I've ever
man.
made.
Let's go, bro.
I'm super excited.
Let's go. When's your start date there?
I'll find out tomorrow.
Cool.
Find out
All
tomorrow.
right.
It's gonna be a rough couple of months working both jobs, but
I want to like ask you what can I do to help, but like I'm like I mean I know what I can do to help, but just to support you at this point. But like it's like okay, I'm like in that document. Like I'm like, oh, how did I not know that? I'm like, oh, because you have been a client of ours for like a month yet. So all right, that's
I'll
good though.
always
I'm
be
so
around,
excited. No, but I'm excited to hear that about you, man. I'm
Yeah.
I'm psyched for you, dude. I don't know, like you're doing it, man. You're doing it, dude. You're coming up on a year, huh?
Yeah.
How long?
We got 10 months and 2 weeks.
Man, that time flies, bro. That's wild. That's wild. That's insane to me, man. You're gonna be, yeah, dude. Adrian's gonna be queuing you up for your first lead soon, man.
Oh gosh, he's already talking to me about it.
I bet he is,
He
dude.
told me to use this morning as a
as a little dry run.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
He's already talking about taking on a sponsee. Yes, all right, let's take
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
We gotta finish the steps before
One day
we-
at a time. Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
that's good. That's good. That's good. I love that so much, man.
just to see where I'm at today as compared to where I was at,
Yeah.
11 months ago.
Yeah, it's a remarkable
it's
transition.
insane.
I mean, it's like a, you're doing it, man. You're not just talking about it, you're living the life, man. And the good things are happening to you. That's you're like literally the miracle of the whole thing is that like, it's not, and then that's the fuel for like, there's countless dudes that are inspired by what you're doing. I'm one of them, like there's people that you don't even know that you're influencing. Your sphere of influence is going to continue to grow. It's going to be like, it's mind-blowing.
I really hope,
It's like that Othello, that game of Othello where like you flip the pieces over, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
like things start to flip over and like, it's not like, it's just, it's automatic, man. Or like another metaphor I like to use is like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, where all of a sudden he just starts plucking the bullets out of the sky. Like these things that used to hurt me, that used to be so injurious to me, I could never imagine that not in a million years. And then it's just like the harmless because I don't let them. They cannot harm me anymore because my brain is not attuned to that wavelength anymore. My brain is attuned to the wavelength of bringing good into the universe and doing good. So
That's
And
a
I
great
see you.
metaphor.
I see you doing that too.
Thank you.
I
Thank
see.
you.
I see that
Just-
in you, man.
Looking back on, the journey and some of the things that I've done, just it just, I mean, literally my jaw drops just
Mhm.
think. I mean, just a month ago I was in my sponsor's living room telling him every little secret
Yeah.
that I've ever had,
Uh-huh.
every bad thing I've ever done.
For several hours,
Yes.
belaboring it. Yeah, like
And
driving yourself nuts for like the week beforehand. Oh,
things that
man.
I would never have thought in a million
Uh-huh.
years that I would ever repeat,
Yeah.
and I'm just gushing all of this out on him and
Uh-huh.
welcoming, his feedback and,
Yeah.
and just looking for the,
You realize that like you're not as dissimilar as you thought you were. Like, there's no way he's gonna like he's. And then you told me. I remember you told me immediately afterward. You were like, he was like, yeah, oh, that stuff. Like, there were a couple pieces that you said were like still kind of like,
yeah. And I think
dicey.
anybody will have that, but
Sure.
for the most part, it felt like, he got out his fifth step and it literally felt like he was
Yeah.
reading my paperwork.
side by side, right?
Literally.
Just,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just insane how far this program has taken me in such a short period of time. And I'm just so anxious to see what's next. Like,
Yeah.
what can I do next to help these guys out?
Yeah.
Or
That's it, bro.
what
That's
can
all.
how
You're on the path.
I just
dude.
want to
You're
give
doing
it back because
You're literally doing it right now.
I
This
just
is doing it.
cannot believe like what this program has done in my life
Yeah.
in such a short period of time.
Uh-huh. Well, hey, Dave, I want to thank you for joining us today. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Do you have a final message you want to share? Anything you want to just like last? I think I pretty much didn't even use the script at all, so I'm just like whatever, throw that out. I mean, we had it all today. We had Shia come in, pop in, and say what's up.
If you need
Yeah.
help, Tal is definitely here to give it to you.
We are here.
Yeah.
You'll see me towards the end. Well, you'd see me on day one actually, because I do the intake, some of the intake stuff. But back at the anyway, 211 is who you want to call for your mental health crisis needs. Yeah. So yeah, Dave, thanks for joining us, man. I really,
for
really
having me.
appreciate you taking time out of your day and waiting so long. So thanks, fans. I appreciate that. Sorry for the delay. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap things up. Thanks for listening to Tal Tales. This has been a success story. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.